What was the dumbest rumor spread about you? I was once sick for an entire week of ninth grade. Somehow it spread that I went to Hawaii. Even a teacher made a comment. I have no idea how the fuck that started, and nobody would tell me why they thought it, because they thought I was just being cheeky by denying it. That I was dead. Was late getting back to uni, so my buddies decided it'd be funny to tell people I'd been killed. In Europe, the story started with killed in an accident and blossomed to got a girl pregnant. Wouldn't marry her. Decided to marry her. Killed in an accident. One girl I knew actually believed it and cried when we bumped into each other. Had no idea she cared. That I'm dead. I'm not dead. I moved from Scotland to England at like 13. I had a thick accent and I got a lot of shit for it, so almost subconsciously I slowly started to like fake an English accent. Was really stupid, as I'd flip back to Scottish as soon as I got home. After I left school I dropped the accent, but by that time the majority of people I knew in the small town I was in had met me as English spliff wizard, so when I'd see people they'd be like, "WTF happened to you? Why are you suddenly Scottish?" I used to just make shit up like I had a voice transplant and this is all they had, but eventually it stopped. Roll on a few years and I'm back in town having a drink with some mates. I get talking to two guys, and when I mention my name one is like, "Oh shit, you're that guy who pretends to be Scottish." And so now apparently there's a fable around the town of some English kid who one day was just like, "Fuck this, I'm Scottish now." And the kid is me. Class. That my parents were drug dealers, and they involved me in selling drugs at my elementary school. What actually happened was that I gave my friends $1 each from my lunch money so we could all buy cookies. Somehow the rumor spread all the way to the principal. So he dragged me to his office and lectured me about not giving my money away in front of other people. When I was in grade 1, some girls thought it would be funny to tell everyone I had boy private parts, which upset me greatly. I don't remember this, but my mother has told me that during an assembly I was talking with the people around me and it was brought up and I felt the need to stand up and pull down my pants and undies in front of everyone. I cringe every time I think about it. I made fun of Baptists at my friend's house, and his mom told the other moms that I worship the devil. This was in 10th grade or so. In 5th grade, these two girls that hate me once told the class that I cheat on tests by looking at other people's answers. My classmates avoided me for months because of that. In middle school, some sub that no one knew that looked like a narc pulled me from class because of a family issue. Walked me out of the school to my mom. Somehow this turned into the sub being a cop, and it being a cop car, and I was in trouble for something. One rumor a few weeks later was that I had gotten in trouble for bringing tons of huge guns to school or something. I was like, "Guys, I'm still at school. I told you what happened. That I sold sandwiches in school. How do you even start a rumor like that? That I have 3 testicles. That I was gay. I like girls. But you never see me with one because girls don't like me. Honestly, you don't see me with guys either." This was spread by an adult in a volunteer organization I was part of. Me, happily married, running for a leadership position. Her, many years married to someone running for one of the other positions. Apparently she didn't want me on the leadership team because she told people I had the hots for her husband, who was, bless his heart, a nice guy, but homely. I respected what he'd done to achieve leadership in the organization, but could not have been more uninterested in that aspect of him if he had been a cow patty. I didn't know anything about this until after I lost the election. She also started a rumor about 2 other adults who were friendly, but not doing anything untoward. Unfortunately, the wife of the man believed that rumor and it totally ruined a number of relationships and events because she wouldn't permit them to attend the same meeting or event. I never understood what motivated that person to spread those types of rumors. As a child, many kids thought I was gay because I had long hair. It wasn't mine. But my friend is allergic to peanuts and someone started a rumor that he was lying. So, someone waved a peanut butter sandwich in front of him. That started an allergic reaction. We were in 5th grade. That I raped a girl at school. At the time there was drama going around that someone in my group of friends had raped this girl, who was a friend of mine. Later we found out the guy our entire group hated, we'll call him Jake, actually did it and was suspended and arrested. But before that, the school was trying to figure out what happened and Jake told the admins that I did it and they questioned me but couldn't pin it to me. I was the mediator of the group, so if there was an argument I was usually the middle ground, so basically everyone in our group knew it wasn't me, which kinda saved my ass. But because of that we name-dropped Jake to the admins and they ended up pinning it to him because the girl eventually gave a description of the guy who did it and it was Jake. That I told my entire preschool class that Santa wasn't real. It was actually a different kid with the same first name as me. And I hadn't even been there when it happened. So I learned the truth about Claus from my enraged and screaming mother calling me a liar. I am now 32 and I still hate Christmas. That I licked the top of the pizza box when someone threw it in the garbage. One was that I laid eggs. Another was that I had 14 abortions in 6 months. Unfortunately, both around the same time period. Yikes. It's kinda too fair. My ex was spreading rumors my new girlfriend was pregnant by someone else, while my girlfriend, now wife, was dating a girl. Then the rumors grew to me only dating her so the kid would have a dad. Then once we got engaged it spread to we were only getting married to save her the disgrace of having a baby out of wedlock. Here's me favorite part, the timeline. We dated for 11 months until got engaged. We were engaged for like 14 months. We had our first kid at almost 3 years of marriage. So that's quite the gestational period she had. And the kid looks a lot like me, so that's suspicious for him to be someone else's. A coworker told several people I was having an affair with our boss. To add to it, she said I was the one who told her about it. I'm a woman. My boss was a gay man. No, we were not having an affair. That a platonic male friend and I were dating because we studied in the same part of the college library every night, Sunday through Thursday. It was just the part with the most comfortable chairs. That my boyfriend rapped me or pressured me. We haven't even had sex yet, we were both virgins and wanted to wait. We lived in a small town of 800, so word spread fast. And a woman wanted me to press charges against him. Because though he was older than me, I was actually older than him. It was stupid, but thankfully it stopped after a month. That I had mad computer skills because I was browsing Reddit at work. None of my coworkers had ever seen a website that was just text with some thumbnails instead of blinking ads covering 80% of the page. When I was 13, there was a rumor spreading around that I was born in Iraq, used to live in Moscow, and was a die-hard gay communist that wanted to run for president and pass a law that everyone was required to have gay sex with me. When I was 21 and in college, I worked with a boy who was a senior in high school. His girlfriend broke up with him about 2 weeks before prom for another guy. I offered to go with him. The girl was dumped by her new boyfriend a few days before prom and wanted my coworker to take her to prom. But he said no, as he was going with an older woman. At prom, I was quite the topic of conversation. This girl had come by our store when I was working, and she and her friend told everyone I was AB*TCH who had multiple children with multiple baby daddies. I don't even go here. Anyway, prom was nice. Dinner before was great, and after the dance I went home alone and had many legal drinks in my child-free house. There was a widely held belief among the underclassmen in my fraternity that sometime in the murky past, I had thrown a chair in anger during the course of one of our meetings. I had never thrown a chair, and haven't to this day. That I gave my boyfriend a hand job on the bus. I very much did not. Hadn't even seen a dick at that point in my life. It was so outrageous that the people who tried to spread it became the butt of the joke for spreading something that literally nobody would believe. In middle school, someone started a rumor that I was a voodoo priestess. Stereotypical Hollywood voodoo. Nothing like the real thing. I'm white and live in Canada. People believed it. They'd shriek and run when they saw me. At the end of 1 year, a girl who had been nothing but awful to me asked if she could sign my yearbook, and her signature was basically her pleading with me not to curse her. Even in my first year of high school, I had a few people who didn't go to my middle school walk up and ask me if it was true that I did voodoo. Thankfully, it died down after that. The funniest was in high school. My classmates thought that I could blow things up with my brain. To this day, I wish that were true. The worst was also in high school. I had a teacher, one I liked and trusted, stage an intervention because the rumor was that I was a lesbian. A rumor since junior high, and something I never confirmed or denied. In that I was abusing my girlfriend, a friend, and nothing more. To this day, the idea that this teacher I liked and respected could believe such a thing still bothers me. Her delivery was very much, "You need to stop this," as opposed to, "Let's talk." That I was a lesbian. Growing up, a guy was convinced I was a lesbian. I just didn't fancy him. I didn't bother correcting him either. He told everyone I was, but you know what, who cares? It didn't bother me and definitely didn't affect my love life. Got hit on by a few women, but I was flattered. Back when Five Nights at Freddy's was popular, I was in middle school working on a computer. I wanted a cool desktop background of one of the characters, so I searched it up on Bing Images, which was the default search engine on our school network. Bing had a tab between the search bar and the images where it says, "Other people searched for," and lists a bunch of other popular terms. Well, it just so happened that a lot of people were searching up FNAF porn on Bing. A classmate saw the search term, and I became the kid who searched up FNAF Rule 34 on the school computers. Fuck you, Bing. When I was pregnant with my youngest, I was looking for baby stuff straight away. I was looking to buy a baby-wearing sling, and I spoke to this local woman who was much older than me. I was 23, and she befriended me and added me to a baby-wearing group as I was wanting to baby-wear. Everything was fine until I told her how far along I was. Like 6 weeks. And then she deleted me and I was removed from the group. I was very confused. Turns out she thought I was faking my pregnancy because apparently if I was only 6 weeks along, I wouldn't be buying baby stuff. She told the admin of the group to delete me. She told some other people in town I was faking, and someone told me. I was quite upset, but everyone knew it was crap when they saw my belly and then saw my baby after I had her. After I had her, I sold my baby-wearing sling, and the woman who bought it was in the original group. I told her my story and she was horrified and talked to the admin, who apologized to me and invited me back to the group. I accepted her apology but declined the offer of being in the group. I still see the woman who started the rumor every so often with my clearly not fake child with me. My husband had the flu in February. Rumor around his work was that he had the coronavirus, and I gave it to him cause I worked with the first infected patient in my county. I never was sick. I don't work in the same city as the first infected, and I have no idea who she is. The rumor kept getting more and more crazy every day. That I'm a poor replica of a human designed to test awkward social interactions. Fuck off. I'm a quality replica. Someone started a rumor that there was another person inside of me working me with controls. Gonna get buried and slightly off prompt, but in middle school I ended up hanging around these two boys for a few months. I always had a way of finding myself in the group with the weird kids. Like-minded, I suppose. But anyway, one of the boys actually would talk about how he had been in prison. Changed to juvie when I asked questions. I mentioned it possibly offhanded to a few acquaintances. The way you do as a kid with information and no processing skills. Then one day after some school event, I'm with my mom and little sister when we are approached aggressively by this random woman dragging my weird friend with her. She asks me to stop spreading rumors that her son had been to juvie. My mom looked very confused and unsure of where to direct an anger that was developing. I said something along the lines of, "Okay, but he told me he had been," as if he made me spread the rumor. I think that wasn't what she expected, cause she quickly assured my son has never been in trouble with the law and ran off dragging my embarrassed friend away. Mom didn't want me hanging around him anymore. I then started hanging out with a girl who swore she was dating an older guy who sometimes was a werewolf. I sure know how to pick them. I used to be an appliance contractor and a friend would come and haul scrap out of my van to take to the scrapyard, so I didn't have to. Neighborhood thought I was a heroin dealer and the appliance thing was just a front.